Our tendency to be stuck in the past or to worry about the future, especially in this time of COVID, is a very real thing. And the practice of mindfulness is said to be a very useful method of coping. And so we asked clinical psychologist and founder of Tea House Therapy, Sonia Winter, to join us this morning to tell us more about that. Morning to you, Sonia. Thank you for
Morning,
joining
Sonia.
us.
Hi, good morning, Delia. Morning,
Good
Simone.
to have
Thank
you. I hear this word being bandied about so much these days, and it's usually tied in with meditation. So people talk about mindfulness and meditation and how it can help, as most of us or a lot of us go through what is this unprecedented time of anxiety and stress and just uncertainty. When we speak about mindfulness, Sonia, what are we actually talking about?
Okay. So I want to just clarify something, please, Simone, that mindfulness is one form of meditation. There are a lot of different types of meditation, and mindfulness is one type. And mindfulness is the ability to pay attention to what's happening inside you in terms of your thoughts and your emotions, as well as what's happening around you, what's happening to the people around you, what's happening in your environment at the same time while it's happening, but very important to do so without judging it. That's the critical ingredient, being able to pay attention and to do so without judging it.
Okay.
Okay.
Without judging the situation, without judging yourself, without judging what had. Okay.
Exactly,
In,
without finding fault with it, kind of accepting it as is, accepting yourself and accepting the situation
so
as
now
much as
this sound like it need a tutorial because, I mean, as easily as you put it, it's not
Mhm.
an easy process.
Well, Simone, it can be if you have the guidance that you need. Okay. It's mindfulness is something that I do a lot with the clients that come to see me because it's a very powerful tool. It actually has been shown to help change how your mind, your brain is actually structured, believe it or not. You know about plasticity of the brain now, and it really helps with problem solving a great deal, particularly when there's uncertainty. So if you have guide and if you actually go to YouTube, there are lots of different applications and videos that can help you with mindfulness. It's a practice. It's a way of being. Sure, you can do it for a few moments a day, but once you start doing it, mindfulness almost becomes a way of being, where you're always connecting with yourself and you're always connecting with what's happening around you
Yes.
with acceptance
Yes.
and
So we're
and
hearing the
self.
two things, awareness and acceptance. What is the purpose of mindfulness? So
Okay,
we're saying to
mindful.
people, you need to be mindful, but what's its purpose?
The real purpose of mindfulness is number one, it does help you with problem solving because it almost slows you down, first of all, so that you're able to respond to what's happening rather than react to what's happening around you and to you. A lot of the opposite of mindfulness, I think it's easier to think about it in terms of what's the opposite of mindfulness. The opposite of mindfulness is mindlessness. And it's when we're mindlessly doing things on autopilot, we're kind of just racing through the day, and in those situations, we are reacting to what's happening, not only inside us, like we're feeling anxiety inside us, we're reacting to it rather than being able to use the information from the anxiety to respond in a deliberate and more effective way. That's the point of mindfulness, slowing you down, almost getting you off an escalator. That can take you in a circle, round and round and round, and allowing you to really be in touch with as much information around you as possible so that you can respond in the most effective way.
So what does it look like, Sonia? Is it that I'm getting an image of sitting somewhere, maybe cross-legged in a lotus position on the floor, and my arms are extended, and I'm taking deep breaths, and what does it look like when you are having a mindfulness session? Is that a word?
Simone, I would say that it looks like different things, perhaps on a continuum. So the example you gave of someone, sort of sitting and doing their and so on. That's like one extreme to get the person to concentrate. But on the other extreme, it's just me and you sitting talking and being in touch with each other. We could both be very mindful right now. It just means that we're in touch with what we're doing. We're in touch with what's happening. We are connecting with what's going on inside us, and we're connecting with whomever we're interacting with, because we're taking in a lot of information. We're expanding the ability of our mind. Here's the thing, Simone, a lot of times we are in a moment, but where our thoughts are is in a different moment. Okay, so you and I are sitting here talking. However, in the front of my head, I'm also thinking, when I get up, I have to go fix breakfast. I have to think about gathering up my books. Oh my goodness, I'm also thinking about tonight. Today is Tuesday night. I would have gone out and hung out with my friends tonight. I can't do that anymore. In fact, I can't even do this anymore. And even though you and I are here connecting, I'm trying to connect with you, trying to communicate with you. My brain is in a different time zone, is what I call it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm missing out on a lot of important information. I'm missing out on an opportunity to connect with you, which is a very calming experience. You know, we're social animals, so connecting a lot of times can be very calming. But I'm missing out on that opportunity because more of my thinking is someplace else. And therefore what's going to happen is that if something is happening between you and me, I'm going to react rather than
Respond.
rather than respond. Yes.
Yeah. We have a minute. I want us to go through some very quick skills that you share with us, Sonia. You said to cultivate these skills, concentrate on breathing to lengthen and deepen your breaths. Yes?
Exactly. What I often help my clients to do is actually count your breathing, first of all, because you have to slow down to do that. You know, count your breathing: 1 for in, 2 for out, 3 for in, 4 for out. And I let them count all the way to 10, because then you know they're paying attention. Okay.
Yes.
Then I force them to kind of pay attention to the environment around them by checking in with their 5 senses. What can they hear? What can they smell? What can they taste? What can they see? What can they touch? So you're kind of activating your 5 senses, because that's where you get a lot of information, you know. And then afterwards, I help them to observe their thoughts and count their thoughts just in the same way as they're counting their breathing, because again, you know, they're paying close attention. What am I thinking? And then we make the final leap. What are they feeling? That can sometimes be a little bit more difficult to get in touch with, because we're so trained to compartmentalize and put away certain feelings, box them away and ignore and suppress them. And so that's the final leap, to get them to observe what are they feeling, because their emotions are important data as well.
Yes.
When they're going to just navigate the world. And so that's an accelerated process.
All right. Thank you very much, Sonia. It was very helpful and something that we can practice in these anxious times.
Trust me. Trust me.
That was clinical psychologist and founder of Tea House Therapy, Sonia Winter. Still to come, we take a cry for intervention off the shelf, but after the break, it's News in 5.